You guys, it's finally happened. I've gotten my first hit piece. All because I dared, because I had the absolute audacity to use an Amazon service. Someone better call TMZ about this scandal. I wasn't even going to do a video about this because why give these people the attention? But then Mark Dice did one, and honestly, I can't be the headline of an article and have that headline featured in a Mark Dice video and then not talk about it. But before I bring you on our magical, self-important Seattle Times journey, I'd like to give a shout out to ExpressVPN for being a partner of this channel. Whether you worry about your internet service provider tracking your online activity, you want to keep your data and identity safe, or you're trying to access geo-blocked content, a VPN can help. ExpressVPN has not only been consistently rated as the #1 VPN service, but also supports free speech. For a safer, private internet experience, check out my link down in the description and get 3 months free with your annual subscription. Now let's check out this article. It's called Militant Preppers, Boogaloo Members, and QAnon Adherents Can Push Products on Amazon, and features ya girl Liberty Doll, who is none of those things. So already we have some top-notch journalism from Miss Katherine Long.
Fantastic piece of clickbait.
The article is basically Long pointing out a bunch of folks with views she doesn't like, who also happen to have Amazon affiliate storefronts, calling them conspiracy theorists, QAnons, and extremists, following these accusations with "so-and-so didn't respond for request to comment," and then complaining that they haven't been banned from Amazon. She writes, a review by the Seattle Times found that Amazon approved for participation in its affiliate marketing programs an adherent of the Boogaloo Boys, who advocate overthrow of the US government, a supporter of the obsessive cult-like QAnon movement, a forum for assault rifle enthusiasts whose users have doxed and harassed gun control advocates, and more than 12 other similar websites touting far-right conspiracy theories. Her tweet for the article makes a similar summary, adding that gun rights supporters are also on Amazon, and many Capitol rioters have shown support for gun rights, so they're basically the same and deserve to have some of their theoretical income stripped away. Her article literally states that she reached out to Amazon, reported me, and Jared from Guns and Gadgets, and Mark Dice, and a bunch of other people, including some poor guy that only has like 200 subscribers, to Amazon with the expectation that we'd be kicked off the platform. She then goes on to quote some guy calling us threat actors. Here's the definition of threat actor. A threat actor is a person or entity that has the ability or intent to impact the security of other individuals or companies. It's a term typically used in cybersecurity, and I would love to know the evidence that Miss Long has that I pose a safety risk to other people or businesses, especially when she's the one trying to cut off parts of people's businesses. Just saying. That being said, I do thank her for reminding me that I even had an Amazon influencer storefront because I'd completely forgotten about it. Seriously, look, that logo is 2 years old. So who are these folks on Amazon and what makes them so dangerous? In the article, Long mentions a channel called Prepper Action, who she says mostly talks about knife carry laws and firearms training, which, as an aside, she got wrong because his last knife video was posted in August 2019, and the last video involving militia training was an April 2018 video showing the best ways to carry someone who's wounded. But, you know, deep research. But because he's made videos where someone he was training with had a 3%er patch, he is a blight on the internet and needs to be stopped. He also dared to make a video about California knife laws in front of a Gadsden flag 4 years ago, and she presents that as proof that he's in league with the Capitol rioters.
Oh my God!
And don't think for even a minute that she did some deep digging for that, because she didn't. It's the 3rd video in his popular uploads playlist. which frankly was an easy guess on my part based on some details she got wrong by clearly reading only the first tweet in a thread and not the second, or by ignoring that the very first word in my Twitter bio is libertarian. And how about good ideas don't require force? That doesn't sound very threat actory to me.
But, what do I know?
Anyway, another lucky mention in the article is ARFCOM. ARFCOM committed the crime of linking to a rifle site sold on Amazon while simultaneously being a forum for firearm enthusiasts. For that, they must be punished. Then comes my section. YouTuber Liberty Doll, a South Carolina-based gun rights advocate with more than 200,000 subscribers, links to her Amazon storefront under every video. Until recently, shoppers could find there a list of camping supplies labeled prepping/boog gear, a reference to the violent anti-government movement that predicts an oncoming boogaloo or race war. I would absolutely love to know which of my videos she thinks promotes a race war. Really, I'd like a title and timestamps, please. She then writes that Squarespace kicked my Boog mugs off my site, which isn't what actually happened at all, but nonetheless, it's evidence of my alleged threat acting. And that's the part where she read tweet 1 and not tweet 2. The funny part here is that I made that Boog logo myself in Photoshop probably a solid 6 months to a year before the igloo memes hit the news. I made it because it was a meme, and it was funny. That logo was literally a joke, and that, my friends, is her proof that I'm some based operator in a scary militia. Let me just go pack up my tactical circle skirts and get right on that. By Long's own article, Amazon's operating guidelines prohibit content creators from being affiliate marketers if they publish hateful, discriminatory, or obscene content, incitements to violence, or calls to undertake illegal activities. If you've been on my channel for longer than 5 minutes, probably even longer than 30 seconds, you'd know that I don't do anything that violates those guidelines. But remember, our journalist can find an Amazon link at the very bottom of a video description but doesn't finish reading the Twitter or YouTube thread. The Gun Collective also got a mention. Mark Dice was labeled a California conspiracy theorist, and they printed Jared's personal information and accused him of storming the Capitol. Because journalism. She also included a quote attributed to Mark Dice that, according to his video response, he never actually said. Now, if you read the article, which I've saved in an archive link in the description so they don't get the traffic, you'll see none of these scary conservatives responded to her emails. The only person who did respond, it turns out, was Mark Dice, and the email that he got from her was very, very different from the one that I got. I'd like to touch on that for a moment. He included his email in the video, and it reads, "Dear Mr. Dice, I'm a business reporter at the Seattle Times where I cover Amazon. I'm writing an article about the Amazon influencer storefront. I plan to include your influencer storefront in my article as an example of a storefront benefiting a social media personality who has questioned the results of the 2020 presidential election, compared the January 6th riot at the Capitol to protests last summer over police brutality and racism, and been sanctioned by social media platforms for his views." She then asks about how much money he makes, how he got into the program, and if Amazon has ever personally spoken to him about his beliefs. Meanwhile, this is the email that I got from Miss Katherine Long. "Hello, I'm a reporter at the Seattle Times covering Amazon. I'm curious to learn more about Amazon influencer storefronts. I see that you link to your storefront on your videos, and I'd love to learn more about how you signed up for the influencer program and whether it's profitable. Did Amazon reach out to you, or did you apply? What kind of return does the store generate? Warmly, Katherine." You might notice there's a little something missing there. Apparently, you need over 1 million subscribers on YouTube for these people to be honest with you. Nowhere in her email did she mention that she was looking for information for a hit piece, or that this is because she doesn't like my political or philosophical views, or even that she planned to use any information I might provide against me to try and get my storefront taken down. Because that's what this article and her tweets containing it are all about. She doesn't like my views, or Jared's, or Mark Dice's, and so we don't deserve the measly 1 to 3% commission on Amazon links like the rest of the plebes. Oh, I said 3%. Quick, someone call cancel culture. I said the name of the bad guys. She even admits that most people make pennies with Amazon links. She doesn't care. Her sources say that somehow that makes it even worse, because those pennies fund hate. Warmly, she says, warm like the fire you burn books in, because she's also trying to get Dice's books taken off of Amazon.
See, it's no good, Montag. We've all got to be alike. The only way to be happy is for everyone to be made equal. So, we must burn the books, Montag. All the books.
Do you know why I didn't respond to her email? Besides, obvious answer is obvious. Because her request was flat out dishonest. She purposefully admitted vital information to further an agenda, thinking her email was going to be a big gotcha moment. She sent me that email in January, and I didn't have to wait for the article to know that her request was shady. A quick search of her previous work with the Seattle Times showed that she's more of an activist than a journalist, and quite frankly, after someone from The Guardian reached out to me about Virginia's lobby day last winter, pretending they were interested in objective journalism, but then refused to let me keep any record of the conversation, I'd learned to be skeptical.
Wait a minute, I'm not talking to you.
But it sucks. It sucks to live in an age in which the people who are supposed to be telling the truth, who are supposed to have some information standard, and who are supposed to be holding the political machine accountable, are instead spending their time lying about trying to shut down somebody's side hustle because we need to cancel everyone who isn't towing the 1984 party line. They can talk all day about diversity, but only so long as diversity refers to the colors in the crayon box. There are concentration camps in China, lady, right now. There are Democrats in Congress trying to pressure private companies to dump the only mainstream conservative news outlet out there in a flat-out violation of the First Amendment. There are people dying in wrongfully executed no-knock raids fought in the name of an unconstitutional and unethical drug war. We've been arming and funding terrorists overseas for decades and then acting shocked when there's blowback. We have record unemployment and huge spikes in urban crime, suicide, and drug use. People have been locked in their homes for a year with no end in sight. We have a president who can barely string a sentence together, who has documented ties to China and has kids in cages just like the last two guys, but no one is talking about it because it's suddenly their guy and you're worried about the $5 that I make on Amazon. Have some fucking integrity. Out of all of the problems we have in the world, my Amazon affiliate link is what you're choosing to focus on. That dog and pony show is exactly why trust in the media is at a record low. And all day you guys go, oh, it's Trump's fault with his fake news. No, you did it to yourselves. You might not agree with my views. You might think that I'm wrong, and that's okay. I don't want people to take my word for it. I want people to make their own opinions and do their own research. But when I comment on the news, you can always expect that at the very least, I'm going to be honest about it. And for that, you should hate me and boycott Amazon because Katherine Long of Seattle says so. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of the Seattle Times hit piece. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and checking out my other videos because people like Katherine don't want you to. You can also find a plethora of support options in the description, besides Amazon. if you so fancy. Thank you all for tuning in and keeping this channel going during these very, very stupid times.